Action.
I
I
was going to say I feel fat. We had a huge lunch today,
I
so
don't
I'm like.
feel it. I am.
So, hi everybody, and happy Friday. So.
The problems of being well fed.
Exactly, that's for sure. We went to the Chinese restaurant next door, and all of us are like dragging here.
It was pretty yummy.
Yeah, that was pretty yummy actually. Very, very good. So try Chan's if you guys are in the Thornton neighborhood. It's pretty good food.
Yes,
yeah.
please do.
Yeah. So anyway, welcome. We've got another wonderful project for you today. Anybody watching yet?
Mm-hmm.
Good. Okay. So.
We had lots of new people yesterday.
We had a ton of new people. It's kind of crazy because every once in a while things just sort of blow up like that. It was kind of wild.
Facebook just like
yeah,
broadcasted it across a few
exactly.
people that had interest in sewing, or quite how that happened.
That's
but
right.
We
So
appreciate you all
we
coming
do.
and joining
Yeah,
us.
thank you everybody who comes and watches these. We really appreciate it. We really don't have a lot to announce today, do we?
We don't have much for
No,
announcements.
exactly.
No.
We are going to finish mystery number 8, which is it's turned out really cute, by the way. Are you going to do all embroidery on it then? I thought you were going to do applique on some of it.
We've already done the applique. I've got a variation to show you.
Never mind. We got Dice. She was working on.
Okay.
That shows how short my mind is. But also, I have a joke. It's a very
That's
funny
scary.
joke. I know. I'm pretty happy about the joke. You ready? A police officer attempts to stop a car for speeding, and the guy gradually increases his speed until he's topping 100 miles an hour. The man eventually realizes he can't escape and finally pulls over. The cop approaches the car and says, "It's been a long day and my shift is almost over. So if you can give me a good excuse for your behavior, I'll let you go." The guy thinks for a few seconds and then says, "My wife ran away with a cop about a week ago, and I thought you might be the cop trying to bring her back."
That's cute.
So that was all right.
That was pretty cute.
So I with
Do you have a
that.
giveaway?
Oh yeah, we do. We got a giveaway. Thank you. And she even wrote it on the back for me.
Oh, look.
And this is a thank you to Diane Papaj. I hope I pronounced that right. It's P-A-P-A-J. It's got to be Papaj, right? So anyway, Diane wrote us a really nice little thank you. Said we making lemonade out of lemons with the videos, and we appreciate that. So Diane, you win a little thank you mug rug here. So thank you for the nice words, and that's the giveaway.
Perfect.
All right. And anything else? No? All right.
Let's get
It's
to
Friday.
sewing.
Can you tell? We're
I know.
like exactly. Yeah, let's get to sewing.
Yes.
All right.
Okay.
You gonna do this, Christine, or you want me to?
You can.
Okay. Hi, everybody. I'm behind the camera.
Oh.
I know.
Hello.
I'm right in front of you.
You're in my personal space.
That's right.
Can they
That's
see this, or
6
can they
foot.
just see my face?
I know they can see that.
Okay.
It is so adorable.
So here is the mystery so far. So today we are going to completely finish this. So we've got a lot to do. We've got borders, quilting,
Oh wow. Okay.
binding, and then we are also going to talk about sleeves. I've had some requests to talk about different ways to hang things.
Oh, I thought you
So-
were talking about shirts and stuff.
No.
Okay, that's all right.
Okay, so when I make these, I traditionally have 2 of them going because I've got one going ahead of time that I take my photos for, and so I wanted to show you the second variation that I've been working on. So here is the second variation, and you will
Aw.
notice straight away.
Look at look at
Isn't he
him.
cute?
He's awesome. Yeah, where did you get him?
the Solaris.
No way, that's a
Mhm.
built-in?
It is a built-in.
Wow,
They're all
that's
a
cool.
built-in.
Oh, are they
So,
really?
Yeah, these
Huh.
are all built-in embroidery designs that I resized so they would fit onto the project.
That is super cute.
You like that?
Yeah, I do. That's adorable. What menu was that under?
Holidays.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty amazing.
Yep.
That's good. See, there are really cute built-ins too, ladies, so you got to look for those.
Okay, so let's talk about what we have left in our kit. In your kit, you now have two pieces of fabric that were your borders. Your borders, most of you probably got this fabric right here.
Just 1 second.
Some of you might have got this fabric.
Yeah, I think that's cute too.
This is one that we ended up
Reminds me of the Wizard of
substituting.
Oz. Yeah.
And then probably 95% of you got this fabric for your binding.
Perfect.
All the binding was a striped fabric. It may have been one of two fabrics, but it was a striped fabric. So left in your kit that you haven't used yet is your binding, your borders, and your backing. So let's get started.
All right. Kate's going to be in hyperdrive mode today because she's got a lot of sewing to do. So.
I got a lot of talking, sewing, everything to do.
Oh, by the way, you guys, look. Hold on. I fixed the chair. It's now on the side where we can actually move it up and down. Y'all be very proud of me.
Okay, so we're going to start this by going ahead and attaching our borders to the top of our wall hanging. So we're just lining up the right sides together. We've got the machine set for a 1/4 inch seam. We're using our, whoops. We're using our 1/4 inch foot with guide. And we're just going to go ahead and stitch the top and bottom.
That was just for you, Tammy. Tammy's Leggett is watching. How are we doing this? Are you going to have to do that? Oh, you just cut it?
I'm just going to cut it.
Oh, okay. Tammy was in earlier and reminded me that I needed to get that chair fixed.
So we're going to stitch the border to one side, and then we're going to stitch it to the opposite side. So this is to the bottom.
Lynn says she feels the wind in your hair watching you sew in her hair.
Yes, I have to stitch quick today.
So it doesn't, you put them on opposite ends, right?
Opposites.
Is
It
that,
really
there's a
doesn't
reason
matter.
for that?
There is a reason for that. It really doesn't matter if you do left and right and then top and bottom, or top bottom and then left and right. But you just want to do opposites.
I really want to try this sometime and bring people on. You
Isn't
guys are
that
going to have to,
crazy?
yeah, it is. You're going to have to volunteer and let us bring you on our,
So we are going to now press this so that the seam allowance goes to the new strip.
yes, we do sell those chairs. They're actually chairs by Kangaroo, one of our cabinet companies, and they're super cute. They've got all the sewing notions on them, and they're the old-fashioned chair. I like to call it old-fashioned because remember the old days when you could lift up your seat and store stuff. Like they had the great idea of candy yesterday. I thought that was a great plan. So you can actually store whatever you want in there. Secret compartment that nobody knows about. So,
We're going to go ahead and go over to the cutting table.
oh, say hi, Michelle.
Hi.
And we are now going to trim the ends of the border even with the edges of your quilt.
It's Kangaroo/Arrow. They're the same company, Patty. So you were very observant yesterday. I wasn't paying attention. What'd you say?
That we're just trimming it even. That's nothing new. Okay, now we're going to go back to the machine. You're going to get your work in today. We're
That's
gonna
good.
go up and down,
That's
up and
right.
down.
I need my exercise after that lunch.
And now what we're going to do is we're going to put the borders onto the left and to the right side. Again, right sides together.
And yeah, the chair, Sherry, is normally $3.99. We have it on sale right now at $2.99. It's a nice chair. It's on wheels. It does raise and lower with the hydraulics. So again, on sale at $2.99. Kat actually makes me nervous when she sews this fast. Yeah, I'm glad you got that. Your
I have
goodies,
an hour
Felicia.
to border, quilt, and bind. That's not very long.
No. That's a 10-minute job for you.
Felicia already got her box.
She got one of the many, yeah. Glad you're here, Kathy. Yay. Oh, wow. You got that fast, Linda. Linda got her chair already.
That was yesterday.
I know.
Wow.
Yeah, the UPS was working overtime. How you doing, Catherine?
I'm doing good.
Bridget's already calling dibs on this one when we give it away.
When we give it away?
Yeah.
Bridget Bruger?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
No, Donna, we haven't heard of anybody having issues with the directions for the twirly skirt. That was a super cute project, by the way.
I asked my granddaughter if she was going to wear it to school, and she told me there wasn't enough room for her at school to wear it. Meaning how full it was.
She can't fit in her chair.
She can't fit in her chair. Well, she had to take it off in the car so she could buckle herself in. It was too big to buckle in.
So did you show her with it on?
Yeah, I had her come to the store.
Oh,
And
did you really?
She did a live
When was
modeling.
that? I missed that.
You missed it.
Oh, that's a bummer.
Yeah, when I left
I wanted to see that.
morning, I came up and picked her up and brought her over, and she did a live, she twirled and twirled.
No, that's awesome.
You'll have to go back and watch. Okay.
Karen K said it's 100 degrees in San Diego. That's crazy. I know. It's
Okay, so here is your table topper.
yay, with the borders on.
The next thing you're going to do is you're going to take your backing fabric. Oh, okay. Did you want that back?
Uh-oh, I'm missing questions again.
Ladies, just ask them multiple times. Nothing new. Anytime we need anything done at the store, we have to ask multiple times. He's used to it.
That's right. They've got me trained well, see?
So we're going to go ahead and put our backing right side down. So we've got wrong side up. We're going to put our batting.
The backing, does it have a right and a wrong side?
This one doesn't. Theirs might.
Oh, okay.
Theirs definitely will. They all had Halloween prints for backing. This one is a solid black. And then we're going to put the quilt top right side up.
Connie Giambracco said that's her social distancing skirt. It keeps everybody 6 feet away. Would it help to quilt before putting the applique on?
Depends what type of quilting you want to do. So I'm using
Patty, she
fusible.
said it depends on what kind of quilting that you're going to try to do on this. You're going to do some hand quilting or the hand quilting look, right?
We're going to do a hand quilt stitch on the machine.
Okay. Oh, Lane, you'll have to send pictures or post pictures on our Facebook. We'd love to see her in it.
What's that?
Her great-granddaughter picked out the colors for her skirt.
Ooh. Yes, I want to see.
What type of batting was it? It was a fusible?
I'm using a single-sided fusible. Hence the reason I'm putting a couple of pins in, because my backing is not connected.
So you could use a double-sided fusible,
The
though, right?
double-sided is actually what I would recommend.
Okay, so double-sided fusible. We only have a single-sided here. That's what she found. So Nope. Ironing of the border, you do it towards the border or towards the...
Towards the border.
Towards the border, yes, Lorraine. See, I'm getting questions. You guys proud of me here? Whew. They're very active today.
Are they good?
Yeah.
Okay, let's get this little baby quilted.
Can you still get the kit for this mystery?
No.
I can't. No, we are out of the kits, Carolyn. I'm sorry about that.
Too much of the fabric at
Yeah.
this point.
Sorry.
So now we are going to discuss quilting. So let's go ahead and sit down here. Now, you can quilt this however you want. During these mysteries, I am trying to use all different types of techniques for quilting. Primarily so we can discuss them, talk about them, teach them, and show them in these lives. So we've done free motion, we've done echo, we've done stitch in the ditch, we've done line grid quilting. So today we're going to use a stitch that is built into the machine. If you have a sashiko machine, you might want to use your sashiko, but this is a stitch that is built into the Solaris that makes the stitch look like it is hand quilted.
And I think Christine has done this technique for you on one of the projects. I can't remember what she did it on, but it's that faux hand quilting stitch that we like. And it's really, really super fun.
So we are going to use a monofilament thread on the top. So I am using the Quilter Select clear thread, which it's my favorite. It is my favorite monofilament thread to use. If I can find the end.
Hi there, Kim. Cedar Rapids is only 55 degrees. Starting to turn to fall. Yuck. How about them Broncos, by the way? Well, not a good time last night. They actually won. First time. Of course, they beat the Jets, so it doesn't count.
Okay, so we...
Oh, that's what it was. Yeah, she did the mouth on her snowman. She did that little snowman thing, and then she did the smile of the snowman with this stitch.
Christine did.
Uh-huh,
Yes.
yeah. That's right. Thanks, Ellen.
So we want to put the thread in the bobbin that we want to show on the top of our fabric. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to echo quilt around in the pieced border. So I have black in my bobbin because I want the black thread to come up on top of my bright color strips. So let's go ahead and show them on the Solaris where they can find this stitch. So in this function right across the top here, this scrolls across. So you just scroll all the way across to the very last one. And once you go in there, you have 3 different settings for your hand stitch. I'm going to do the middle one because everything has to be symmetrical for me. So it makes sense to go right in the middle.
All right.
I'm a right down the center type of girl.
Can we show them now? If you have a different type of machine than the Solaris, they actually improved this feature.
I'm going to show them. Are you
Oh,
talking
are you?
this one?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I'm going to show
Okay,
them
good.
that one too.
Okay, never mind. We'll show you in a minute, ladies.
So I am going to show you the old hand quilt stitch that is on all of the machines too. And
Yes.
it's actually on a lot of machines.
Yes, it is. Uh-huh.
So we are going to do both.
And you want to show them what they did to the tension? Because they're going to have to do that with the regular machine.
They don't need to.
With this one, they don't because the machine already does it for them.
Correct.
But with the Destiny, they would. If they went into that other stitch, they're going to have to increase their tensions. Should I stop interrupting you?
No, you're fine. So if you are going in and using this stitch here, which kind of looks like a straight stitch and then a triple stitch and a straight stitch and a triple stitch, you will manually have to change your tension. So if I go into this one and I go into here, you will see that the tension, they're going to have motion sickness. The tension is set to 4. You will want to increase that, and I would go up to about 6.5 or 7.
Yep. We're actually doing bobbin stuffing type work here, ladies, with the quilting stitch is what you're doing.
So I am going to show you that stitch here in just a few minutes. So this one, when you go into this stitch, it automatically changes the tension to 7 for you.
Yay.
So what we are going to do is we are going to stitch with the left. I'm using my J foot, and we are aligning the left edge of my foot with the seam line between the background square and the strip of fabric.
And you're doing the entire length of that?
I'm going to come all the way down and go around in a circle.
Oh, I see what you're doing.
So
okay.
you can talk as much as you want because I got 4 of these to do.
Okay.
Okay?
I don't have anything to say.
Well, you might want to tell them how this stitch is being formed.
Okay. So the way this stitch is being formed, ladies, and I'll go to the back of the machine so you can see.
Uh-oh.
What happened?
It broke my thread.
Oh, did it? So you can see the stitch. It's taking like 7 tiny stitches and then a long space, and then 7 tiny stitches in a long space. And because that upper tension is so tight, it's pulling our bobbin thread up through the top there. So that's how the stitch is working. Sorry, Jan. We've got a busy store today, so that's the reason that we got background noise. And Betty, that stitch that Kate showed you was the stitch that you're going to find on a lot of different machines, including the Destiny. So the one that Kate showed you is the one that you're going to look for. And that goes all the way back to the FOF days, back in the day. All of those machines have that particular stitch. On the Solaris, they've really improved it to make it look super cool. I mean, I think you guys can see how that looks there. It looks really, really good. And monofilament's going to give you a better look, Sue, because you want to see the spaces because it looks more hand quilted. And with the monofilament, you can see, or you can't see that upper thread. So it makes a really, really neat look in there where it looks like that hand quilted type of stitch. That's why you'd want to use the monofilament in there. Did I miss anything? No, Lorraine, I would use your regular bobbin case and increase your upper tension on this one. You don't want to use that bobbin work case for this particular technique. I would stick with your regular bobbin case and increase your upper tension. So yes, the color is coming from the bobbin. That's the bobbin thread that you're seeing on the top of this. It's a fun stitch, by the way. This is a technique I think you guys will have fun with on some of your quilting. And you can tell everybody you hand quilted it. And they'll believe you. Because only us know the secret. Oh, you were supposed to pull the thread out a little more. Oh, you meant the gray monofilament, the smoke monofilament. What would you think about that, Kate?
Either one would actually work because you're kind of working on medium to dark fabrics. So either one of them would work. I traditionally only use the smoke thread when I am sewing on black fabrics or gray.
And yeah, to answer your question on Sarah on the type of thread that we're using, we only use a polyester monofilament. And what that means, it's not the true nylon like you're going to see out of YLI. The two brands that we carry are Madeira and then Quilter Select. And Quilter Select, it handles more like a regular thread than a true monofilament or than a true nylon thread. So you're going to have a lot less thread breakage. You're going to have a lot less issues to deal with when you're, again, YLI used to be the most popular style of that, but it's kind of squirrely, and it can really cause you issues through your tension assemblies and things. And Jan, that's probably why you've had struggles with monofilament. If you're using that true nylon thread, it can get kind of squirrely. So you want to go to a polyester monofilament would be my recommendation for you. And yes, the Quilter Select brand is the one that Kate's using right now. And I had a question, would you want to use a thicker bobbin thread? You really don't need to because of the way, again, you can actually pick this stitch on the Solaris where, again, I'll go over there and show you ladies what that stitch looks like. Yeah.
If I didn't keep twisting.
That's all right. You're busy.
Oh no.
What happened?
I quit.
What'd you do?
Okay, ladies, it was nice seeing you all today.
What did you do? This is awesome. Remember, these are totally live. We don't tape anything. Show that again.
He's just gloating on my mistake.
Yeah, this is hilarious.
For who?
What? It looks
who?
good. You meant to do that. Oh, that's funny. You're getting lots of hugs and lots of cryy faces, Kate.
I'm gonna go get this really cool seam ripper. I'll be right back.
That was pretty funny. So she didn't sew very much of it down. It was only this little piece here. Yeah, you've only got about 12 stitches to rip out.
And the rest.
Oh, that's funny.
This is not funny. Now I'm not going to get this done. We were going to be on a really tight time crunch anyway.
See our cool seam ripper? Just another learning experience. You guys all know about our Kai seam ripper, right? That's right, Sarah, the stitch removal tool. We're getting a really good view of that, though. It looks good.
Thanks. The problem is those stitches do those tiny, tiny stitches.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
So what's our Plan B project here today?
And they're all enjoying it. I don't know if they're enjoying it, but...
You might be enjoying it.
Yes, Donna, we can print you off a twirly skirt directions.
So, use double-sided fusible batting, and this wouldn't have happened.
Oh, is that why?
Yeah.
Ah, that's a good point. And yes, do you have any update on the puncher from OESD?
They came in.
Oh, they did?
Mm-hmm.
So, Katie, we should have one put aside for you. I'm sorry we haven't got a hold of you on that, but we'll...
Is it Katie Gunza?
Uh-huh. We'll check into that and get a hold of you, but we did get the punchers in.
Unless they were ordered in the last couple of days.
Boy, you're selling lots of seam rippers. She's so...
That's something I would do.
And it's that tiny, tiny stitch that's like impossible to rip out.
The Kai seam ripper is $5.99, I think.
Yes.
Yes, it's $5.99.
Oh no.
Ugh. I just want to go home.
Yeah, you could have used the Quilter Select powder.
Great idea now.
You didn't use double-sided?
No.
Silly.
I know.
Thanks.
You should have.
You guys all must have done this. Everybody wants the seam ripper now. This wasn't done on purpose. How did that happen?
Because I didn't have it pinned. I thought I had it pinned and I didn't have it pinned.
Yeah, the powder would have worked. We probably could have done that. The Mystery 9 kits we are working on. I think we've got most of them done. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
So you should be hearing from us anytime if you ordered a Mystery 9 kit.
Okay, back up to the iron ladies.
You want to show the Quilter Select powder now?
Okay, so we're just going to quickly press this again. And we have this product. It's called Quilter Select Free Fuse, and it is a semi-permanent fusible powder. And what you can do is you can sprinkle it like a salt shaker.
What a great idea.
Is that seasoning?
And then we can press this down.
Never mind, Bridget doesn't want it anymore.
You can have it now, Bridget. Oh, I'm kind of mad at myself. Okay, so now this is kind of
It's fused down now. Yeah, we should have done a double-sided fusible, ladies. So that would have been. Notice I said we, by the way, taking full responsibility.
Yeah. Okay. So what we're going to do is.
We might run over a little bit, ladies.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave this one. This is the one that I've messed up, and I am going to have to pick all of this out and redo this one. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to, this is the first one I did. This is the second one that we've messed up on. So I'm going to go over and do the one catty corner to it. And then I will go back and finish quilting that one later.
So, Linda, did you get in time for the mess up or after the mess up? You have to go back and watch again.
I'm giving Patrick a dirty look in case anybody's wondering.
We will go over number 9, Renee. Will we?
We will. Yeah, that stitch is not a very easy stitch to pull out.
Yeah, it's got a whole bunch of tiny little stitches there. Yeah, we'll go get her one of those pumpkin spice cold brew cream things.
I think that sounds like a great idea.
That's a great idea, Sarah.
And all the while, you probably want to check that your backing is nicely positioned where it should be.
Oh, that's funny. She's actually middle child, Marquita.
What has that got to do with anything?
She said, were you a firstborn? She loves your attitude, so you're patient. That actually sounds really good, too.
What?
A shot of whiskey.
No, I'm not doing whiskey. I could do a peach shake from
Oh,
Chick-fil-A.
yum. Those are really good, too.
Yeah,
Are they
those
still
are-
around? By the way, they're seasonal, too. I think they're gone.
I didn't even have one this summer. I don't know what made me think of it.
That's right. We did that intentionally so we could show the Kai seam ripper.
No, not at all. Okay, so you will do that obviously around all 4 blocks. I do want to show people that have a Destiny or a different machine that maybe doesn't have that stitch, the stitch that you would use. So it is under your quilting tab, and it is the stitch, it's quilting-04 on the Solaris, but basically it's going to look like it has a straight stitch and a triple stitch and a straight stitch. So you're going to select that one. Now remember, on this one we do need to manually adjust the tension, and I'm going to adjust the tension up to about 7.
And you can also increase your stitch length a little bit on that too if you wanted a different look, but I'm not sure. Yeah.
So I just want to show you how this one is different. So the one that we just did had like 5 tiny little stitches and then a big stitch. 5 tiny little stitches and a big stitch. This one, and I'm going to try and sew it slowly, which is going to be hard for me. It's going to sew 1 stitch forward and then forward, back, forward. So forward, forward, back, forward. And on the backward motion of the machine is pulling the bobbin thread to the top. I'll take it out of the machine here so you ladies and gents can see this.
So that looks like drunk hand quilting.
Yeah, I'm going to pull it up a little bit more. So I'm going to pull my tension, so we didn't really get a complete stitch on there. So I've pulled my bobbin thread, I've tightened my top thread a little bit more.
They're saying, could you use a lint roller or tape or something to remove those stitches easier? Or
No, I think they're kind of embedded in there pretty bad.
Are they?
I'm going to use my fingernail, to be honest with you. Okay, so here is the ever stitch, okay?
Yeah, see, that looks cute.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, looks good. And you went up to what, about 7.6 on that?
7.6.
Okay.
Okay, let's go over to the cutting table.
Thank you.
And so let's go over to the cutting table, and what we're going to do now is we're actually just going to trim this up. So you would not want to do this until you have finished all of your quilting. So now we are trimming the backing and the batting even with the outer edge of our border.
I needed him to help her.
You have to be really specific.
They're asking the tension doesn't adjust automatically.
No, you have to manually adjust the tension for the second quilt stitch that I did. The first quilt stitch on the Solaris, it does adjust automatically.
Oh, she is stuck. Oh no.
Okay, so after you've finished all of your quilting, you're then going to trim your backing and your batting so it's all even. And now we are going to take it back over to the machine. And we have had a couple of requests to talk about sleeves. Okay, if you wanted to put like a quilt sleeve onto the back of a small wall hanging. So this is the basics of how you are going to do that, and we're going to talk about two different ways. So the first way is to take a piece of fabric that is the exact measurement. So we're just going to pretend this is the exact measurement, okay? So take a piece of fabric that is the exact measurement of the width of your quilt. And then on each short end, you're going to fold under 1/4 of an inch on both sides.
I've never done this before.
And you are going to straight stitch this down. Let's just do it real quick so you can see.
There are not kits for this mystery. We have ran out of a lot of the fabric, so it's just hard for us to make kits up for this one. Do you want to hold this for just a second? Brenda has stuff back here and I don't want her to leave.
So we're just going to fold under this double 1/4 inch double fold hem. Whoops. Let's go back to a regular straight stitch though.
Donna, if you could repeat your question. I literally just stole the camera from Patrick, so I haven't seen your question. So if you want to ask it again, I'd be more than happy to answer. 8x8 rulers. Do we have any of those in stock? Do you remember? I can't remember.
I don't know the answer to that. Okay, so we're going to talk about two different ways to hang this, ladies. So this is one way.
There we go.
We're doing a piece of fabric that is the width of your quilt, and then you do a double fold on both sides. Then you are going to fold this in half, wrong sides together, and press.
So yes, thank you. The 8x8 rulers are $26.99. And yes, we do have them.
And then what you're going to do is you are going to stitch this to the back of your quilt. And personally, I stitch it at the same time that my binding goes on.
Ooh.
So I would actually stitch this all the way through at the same time. And then you hand stitch this piece down to the back. Okay, so that's one way that you can do it. The other way, and this is something that is, I think, relatively new, is to use these corners.
Oh yeah.
So the corners, and it depends on the size of the quilt as to how big these corners need to be. But basically what you're going to do is you're going to position this wrong sides together.
That lady was looking at the long arm. Did you help her?
And you are going to put your two corners into the top two corners of the quilt. Now I chose just a slightly different color backing fabric so you ladies could see this today. So you are going to, and I did a 4-inch square.
Donna, what trifold patterns are you interested in? Because she has a lot of them. So I don't know if there's a specific one you're looking for, because we do have quite a few in stock. And for the edge-to-edge patterns, I will show you those in just 1 second.
Okay, so we are actually going to go ahead and put these corner pieces onto our quilt today so you can see how these go in. So basically you take 2 squares, somewhere probably between about a 3 and a 5-inch square, depending on the size of your quilt, and you fold them point to point and you stitch them into the binding. So you are going to stitch these directly into the binding. So let's go to our binding.
Somebody said, I noticed when you all thread the machine, you don't put the holder on the spool. Is it necessary?
The holder on the spool.
The spool cap?
Oh.
We hate spool caps.
No, I never use a spool
I don't ever use the spool cap either.
Okay, so your binding, if you purchased a kit, was 2.5 strips. So we are going to stitch these together at a 45-degree angle.
Donna, I believe you're talking about the new fall Thankful tri-stand. We don't have those in stock yet. Those were a pre-order, so you can put your name down for a pre-order if you would like to, so we can call you when they come in. Otherwise, she does have a Halloween one and then a fall in love one that are older. Why do you hate spool caps?
It gives the thread something to catch on.
Yeah, I was gonna say, so why don't you show them up here while Kate's doing that? So if you use the wrong size spool cap, hold on.
I don't even think we have any over here.
Yeah. It's gonna cause tension issues for you. It can also cause the thread to sort of get stuck behind here, on you here. So if you have the small spool, like the Mettler thread that we have here, and you're using a larger spool cap, it will, as it's coming off of there, it'll catch on the top of that spool cap, and it can cause you some tension issues, some
Okay, but what if
threads
they're
and things of
using
that
the
nature.
small one on a small spool?
That's what I would recommend. If you're gonna use a spool cap, now the time that I would definitely use a spool cap is if you have any of those old Coates and Clark threads that have those little ridges on the outside of them, then you almost absolutely have to use a spool cap. Otherwise that thread is going to catch on those little ridges. But if you've got a very smooth spool, they're really not necessary. What I'd really like all of you ladies to do is use the vertical spool stand as much as you possibly can. So if you have them with your machine, I like the vertical spool stand because it gets the thread further away from this tension assembly, so you have a lot less problems. It lets the thread sort of unravel and breathe, sort of like our monofilament is doing here. It's breathing a little too hard. But it sort of lets the thread relax before it gets down into the tension assembly.
Okay, perfect. Okay, Donna, the other tri-stand designs that there is the Fall in Love and the Boo. And as far as edge to edge goes, we have a expansion pack 11 and 4.
Okay, so what I've done is I have joined my binding together to make one long strip, and you do want your joins on the bias, and then I have pressed it wrong sides together. And you want to start not on a corner. So we want to start midway down one side. And this is where you have your choice. And we have done binding a lot on these lives. So you can start
And I still suck at it.
You can stitch on the front and hand stitch to the back. Or you can stitch on the back and top stitch on the front. And that's what we're going to do today. So that is a choice. So we're going to start and we're going to leave ourselves a good 6 inches or so for that is unsewn.
Tammy said, I'm sewing while watching and I'm taking my dang spool cap off. Linda said, Patrick speaks the truth. He is our guru.
Okay, so we're going to stop at 1/4 inch from the end. And we are going to pivot and turn. We're going to raise our needle up out of the fabric. And then we want to fold our binding so that it is laying parallel with the edge of the quilt. You're going to finger press this fold in place. You're going to bring the binding back down on top of itself. And then continue to stitch all the way down the second side.
I did. They came out to So, this is my pattern, and I need
Okay, this is one of the corners that has my folded corner in there. So we are going to make sure that that's sitting nice and flat.
Donna has a question.
Oh my gosh, these two are playing yo-yo today.
Yes, we are.
One minute it's
Yeah,
Christine,
we're
1 minute
keeping
it's
you ladies
Patrick.
on your toes. Kimberbell Corner is Tuesday, Donna, so we're going to do corner on Tuesday.
and I can usually get one full set of
And needle up out of the fabric.
figure out I need 30 sets.
Fold the fabric back so it sits parallel with the binding. Bring the binding back down on top of itself and continue to sew.
You are the binding queen. Do you stitch from the corner or come in a 1/4 inch?
I stitch from the corner.
Yes. From the corner. Valerie.
Okay.
You like Kate's beautiful nail polish, by the way? It's summer blue.
Okay, we're on the 3rd corner. Needle up out of the fabric, fold the binding back, finger press, and then bring it back down on top of itself.
You're gonna have to let me try this sometime.
Binding?
Yeah, I'm so curious to see how bad I would be bad at it.
Well, you want to do the next mystery? Oh, the next mystery has some different
I
angles
didn't
to
say
it.
in
Ooh,
live.
did I just give a secret away?
Uh-oh.
So the next one doesn't have...
Yeah, it's a little different shapes, huh?
Yeah, it does have some different shapes to it.
Yes, we will be showing how to attach the 2 ends of the binding. That's the tricky part. So that's coming up, Barb. Hold on. Hold, please.
Really close.
That's right.
Last corner.
That's right, Connie. It means you're done with the project when you get a bind.
Except I have to go back and still quilt.
Yeah, I need to practice on something, Sarah.
Okay.
Here it comes. Get your pencils out.
Make sure you leave yourself a lot of unsewn area. It will definitely help you out. Okay, so what we're going to do here is, first of all, you want to get rid of your selvage edge. So if you've got a selvage in there, get rid of your selvage edge. You want to lay your first strip down. You want to bring your binding piece that you're joining it to down, and you want to lay it on top. And then what you want is you want the overlap of the 2 binding pieces to be the width of your binding. So if your binding is cut 2.5 inches, your overlap from start to end is going to be 2.5 inches. Unfortunately for us, it's right on the seam line, which isn't the best thing to happen. So what I normally do is I normally take a piece of my binding that I've just cut off and use that as my guide mark. Oh,
Magnetic scissors.
yeah. So my overlap is exactly the width of my binding.
Perfect.
Then you're going to open up this binding edge, and you're going to open up this binding edge, and you're going to join them together on the bias.
Like
It's going to be right on that seam line.
it is. That's kind of cool. So we've only got one. That doesn't happen very often, does it?
No.
Okay, I'm confused by that, Eileen. Can't you move to another part? I don't know what that means.
Well, that's all got to do with where you started sewing
Oh,
on
I
your
see.
strip.
Okay, yeah. I see what she's saying. This is going to make it look kind of cool, though, wouldn't it? Because you're only going to have one binding seam there.
I've already got another one in the binding somewhere.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Before you trim this, you want to lay it out to make sure, because it is possible to sew those the wrong way round, okay? So if it's correct, then you can go in and trim off this excess. And I generally will just finger press this open. So I will finger press that open, and then finger press this along here, and then we put it back into the machine.
Yeah, Donna, on that comment, when I say squirrely, the more difficult the thread, the more important it is to stand up on a vertical spool pin. So back to that conversation. And if you got a cotton thread, it tends to give you less problems, and you can do it on your horizontal spool pin.
Okay, so I am a firm believer in pressing my binding before I stitch it down. So we're going to come up here. Now I'm not going to press my corners. All I'm doing is pressing my binding away from the back of my quilt.
Patty says you didn't match the stripes.
Patty who said that?
She said kidding after. That's funny.
Now, which Patty do I need to talk
Patty,
to?
Patty Reed.
Okay. So I'm not doing anything with my corners. I'm just pressing my binding away from the back of my quilt.
Yeah, I think this is better than a binding tool, isn't it? Easier.
Okay, and then all I do is bring it around to the front, and I just pop the corner into the binding, so the binding will then sit upright on me. So I just pop all four corners around, and we're going to take it back to the machine,
Top stitch.
and we're going to top stitch it.
Are you using your serpentine?
No, I'm not going to.
No.
I don't like a curvy edge with a striped border, so I'm just going to use a straight stitch.
She has so many rules.
If only you knew. Okay, so let's take a look at this corner here. This is easy.
We work our corners, ladies.
Yeah, we're going to work our
Work
corners.
our corners.
So what I do when I'm getting pretty close, I bring the bottom edge up, I position it in place, and I finger press this into that corner, and then bring my first side up and over, and these edges should perfectly match right here.
Work it. Work it. Look at that.
And then we can pivot and turn.
Good job.
Now if you have the digital door feed, ladies, I would use it for this. We are currently out of stock on all of our feet for the digital door feed. But I do like the digital door feed for my binding. So I'm just going to bring this down. So I've got about 2 inches unsewn. I'm going to bring the new edge up, push it into the corner, and fold over.
That's how you work a corner.
Hope you were paying attention because the next one's on you.
This is cute. Almost done. Barb said she bound a quilt yesterday. She wishes that she had waited until after your live.
Next time. There'll be another one to bind.
Not if I'm doing it.
Is there a cheating way to bind?
I think
know.
we're doing it.
Oh, this is the cheating way?
I mean, to me, machine stitching your binding up is...
Oh, hand
not-
stitching is what you would
hand
normally
stitching
do. I
is-
see.
yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Look at this. This is going to be beautiful.
And I want to show them this corner. Look at this corner. Ladies, see this corner? See how
Oh,
the
see?
yellow, the orange matched up there?
Just for
Isn't
you,
that
Patty. That's right.
cool? Okay, so I am going to go in and finish ripping out this quilting. And I will have this finished so we can show you next week when we're back.
And no, she doesn't slip. She said, did you slip the corners?
No,
No. Okay.
no.
And you're not going to show them the sleeve, right?
We talked about the sleeve.
Oh, you did talk about
So
the
we
sleeve.
talked about
Okay,
the
good.
sleeve.
Okay.
So remember this.
That was
would-
my question. It wasn't their question.
This would have been sewn in there, and then you will hand stitch this down. But thank you for bringing that up. So the corners, the purpose of the corners is you then get your handy dandy husband to make you a dowel rod.
Of
that
course.
fits perfectly in there.
Ah, there you
Okay.
go, huh?
And then you can hang these quilts by the dowel.
Perfect.
Okay?
By the way, Wendy said she is saving all her bindings from when you're on Maui.
I wish that was soon. I don't know that this is going to come out, Patrick. It's going to make me mad. Okay,
All right.
we'll speak to you soon. We'll
All
see you
right,
next
ladies.
week.
Have a great weekend. We will talk to you. We're not.
Depends what Amanda's doing. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
Amanda.
Yeah. So anyway, we will see you next week, and you all have a wonderful weekend.
Bye.
Bye.